All right, folks, thank you for staying with us. And on the hot seat today, great guest. He comes to us from Miami. His name is Whitaker, and he's the executive director of Project KnuckleHead. Please welcome Dr. KnuckleHead on the show.
Hey, what's going on, Sammy?
That's your nickname, right?
Yeah,
nickname. Why do you
nickname.
call you Dr. KnuckleHead?
Well, you know, I mean, I share my story with the youth, right? And I was one of the worst knuckleheads when I was 15, getting into all sorts of trouble and been through all sorts of stuff. But I've, despite it, gone on to, you know,
absolutely
graduate and get a doctorate. So,
well, tell us a little bit about that, because we're going to talk about Project KnuckleHead later, later on the show. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I understand you're from Jersey?
yeah, originally from Jersey, dirty Jersey in the building,
great
always.
city.
Yeah, you know, a city called Plainfield, not too far from Newark, about 20 minutes.
Okay.
And, you know, that's where I grew up. I'm still close with all my friends, just went home, actually, a couple
Rough
weeks ago.
city.
Yeah, man. Actually, one of the elementary schools I went to had the highest concentration of poverty in the school, and second highest in the state, whereas 96% of the students got free or reduced lunch. So that's how poor the school was.
Wow. See, the thing about Jersey, and I have a good friend of mine, I told you earlier, he's from Jersey, and he told me the exact same story.
Yeah.
That Jersey, you would think that Chicago is gotta be the roughest, you know, city in America, but Jersey is up there, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, we have some issues. The thing, cities like Chicago get clout because it's a large city.
Okay.
Jersey, we have smaller cities like Plainfield, where I'm from, where you have a lot of big city problems, but it's just isolated to a small area. So it's high levels of poverty, low levels of employment, low educational outcomes, but
Bad schools.
bad schools, yeah.
Just
Getting better, but bad.
tell me about your story, though, since we're talking about Jersey.
Sure.
Growing up, you
All
was
right, born and raised, already at Knucklehead, Jersey public schools.
Okay.
You know, I was, my 9th grade year, I failed most of my classes, and by 10th grade and 11th grade year, that's when I actually just got kicked out and expelled from school.
Now let's go back a little bit. Why is that? Like, tell me a little bit of circumstances, you know, that led you to that.
I wasn't interested in school at the time, right? What they were teaching, I felt it wasn't relating to me in my life, what I would see. And the way they were teaching just different things. And I remember actually my school, because you ever see the movie Lean on Me?
I think I
did,
but it's a long time
a long time ago. That was a Jersey public school. You know, with Morgan Freeman, when he's Joe Clark, and he's changing that school.
He's like the superintendent.
Right, he's the principal.
Going around,
yeah.
Okay, I remember that.
So,
you know, have like a bullhorn or something.
yeah.
I remember
So
that.
you had that philosophy in our schools, and you know, I remember having to wait out school for 2 hours because the metal detectors, everyone had to go through them. At the time, and I would just say, you know what, I'm going home. I'm not standing out here for 2 hours. You know, and there were a lot of things that might not have kept kids in school.
Okay, so got expelled from school, and then what came after that?
After that, you know, arrested during the time too, and you know, you eventually reach a point where you just reflect on where you are. Even I was fortunate enough to reach this at about 15, 16, where I looked at my behavior and saw that I was being a knucklehead and not listening to people, and I decided to change to be a knucklehead and not listen to people and what they thought about me and their doubts. And, you know, so I turned that around. I transformed it into something powerful and been resilient, and ever since. And that's what I put into Project KnuckleHead.
You know, the thing that I want to, you know, put focus on, like, what led you to that point in time when you actually had to reflect? There has to be something.
Yeah, there were definitely people in my life, you know, certain teachers, the good ones, who tried to guide me and at least said something about the bad things that I was doing, and let me know that, all right, look, we're here. Both of your parents are arrested or in prison right now, and you're going between the custody of different grandparents and aunts, but and they care, we care too, you know, and that's what helped me, sort of.
Okay, so story turned out very good. You managed to go to college. Tell us a little bit, you know, the process of doing, you know, moving from being a knucklehead to actually go to college.
Going to college, it's funny because I was such a knucklehead, I had to start at community college, right?
Okay,
of
which
course.
is not bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm at the University of Miami now, and if they would look at my high school transcript, they would say, "Knucklehead, please," you know.
Okay.
Knuckle, please, you know. So started at community college, had to do a full year of classes there just because of everything I missed in high school.
Yeah, you had to catch up.
You know, I had to catch up, not just from bad teachers, but it was a lot of self-responsibility, me not doing my homework and stuff. So after that, 3 years at the community college and received my associate's, transferred to Rutgers University in Jersey.
That's in Jersey.
It's in Jersey.
You went back to Jersey.
Went back to Jersey, you know, but it's
you went back to Jersey. Okay.
Yeah, and Jersey is the best public school in both New Jersey and New York.
Okay.
So I did there and got my bachelor's in history, and after that went to graduate school at USC in Los Angeles.
Okay. Now you skip something.
Okay.
You know, after you graduated from Rutgers, you joined this NGO, and you actually had a chance to take a trip to South Africa.
Right.
It was Senegal also.
Yeah, it was a fellowship we were awarded, and we got to travel to South Africa. Flew into Johannesburg and worked with an NGO there called Tabole Trust, and they were doing great stuff there. It's definitely, that influenced Project KnuckleHead.
Okay. A lot of mentoring programs.
Yeah,
and stuff
they
like
work
that?
with youth and try to provide that support and enrichment programs and stuff for them to be successful, right?
So how do you like South Africa as a you know, as an, was it your first time?
It was my first time out the country, and it blew my mind.
Word? I mean, how was it like?
I mean, it was enlightening to hear. I got to go to Robben Island where Mandela was locked up, and you know, went to his old places where they kept him, and just heard the stories, and went to the Soweto Museum and just heard about the stories. And South Africa and America have very similar stories where like modern history had to come before changes were really made, right?
Okay.
And it was just enlightening to see my brothers and sisters out there and what they're doing, you know, to bring about change.
Man, these South African girls, man, rough, right?
Yeah,
man.
They're rough around the edges, man.
I know, but they're cool though. That's just,
yeah, I was 22 when I went there. And
I had
that
to,
was
man.
not the
I
age.
had to. You know, I mean, they're cool, they're sisters, but you know, I had to put it out there, my South African sisters.
Yeah.
They're nice around the edges, okay? Now, and then you went on to California to complete your master's and doctorate in educational psychology.
Yeah, educational psychology.
Was it the one in UCL?
Yeah,
USC.
Yeah, University of Southern California, but it's also in South Central, so they like to call it University of South Central.
Okay.
You know.
So what was the reason for you to go there? Because I already heard you wrote a 234-page
paper. Yeah, dissertation.
Tell me about that.
Right. So I noticed as I was finishing high school and in community college, most of my friends, or a lot of them, and family members were becoming Bloods and Crips, right? Basically choosing favorite colors, red or blue, and becoming enemies with people and friends with people. And some people do it for different reasons, but I wanted to see what they had done about it in LA. I know that's where it started, in South Central LA. So I went out there and did a research study on the youth in there. And I looked at the most vulnerable youth, where literally 75% of the kids who were in my study, of the teens, drop out of school and end up in prison. So only 25% of them even make it through school.
Wow.
And I compared that 25% to that 75% to see, what does this 25% have that the 75% doesn't have, and how can I put that into a program like Project KnuckleHead, right?
Absolutely.
You know, and what did I have? That's what educational psychology is, the study of the mind and motivation related to learning and stuff like that in education. So I know that's where the gaps were. Most of my friends dropped out of school and stuff like that. So that's the one thing that took me to South Africa and took me around the world and it's taken me to Miami. So I want to put that into a program for the youth.
And that's how Project KnuckleHead was born.
Yeah.
Now we have a video. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that video we're going to introduce right now?
Definitely. We're showing you the KnuckleHead Express. It's a way of mobilizing Project KnuckleHead's 3 premier services that address 3 different gaps with the youth. So it's a brief video.
Let's watch the video.
The KnuckleHead Express will help Project KnuckleHead inspire thousands of youth through our Beat Bus Arts program, eDogs Mentoring program, and Liberation Library Literacy program. These 3 programs combined will expand the minds of our youth in unprecedented ways, build their confidence, and support their path to success. A donation as small as $5 can help provide youth with materials anywhere from drumsticks to a good book. Project KnuckleHead also has a full range of thank you gift options for our donors, including t-shirts, mugs, and your name memorialized on the bus. And because we are a non-profit, your donation will be tax deductible. Please visit our website or Facebook page for more information and to see videos from students, mentors, principals, and teachers who have participated in our programs. You can also learn more about how you can donate books, instruments, art supplies, electronics, or how to get involved as a volunteer. We hope you can help us inspire the next generation. Knuckleheads included.
Let's talk about Project KnuckleHead, man, because I think it's a great idea. I think you're doing that's
you.
very, no, seriously. You know what I'm saying? Especially you having lived that life, so you know exactly what it takes, you know, to get out of it
Yeah.
and accomplish.
I think I'm out of it. I'm not out
Well,
of it yet.
you're on your way. You know, if you
Yeah.
don't think you're there yet, you're definitely on your way. You're on your
Right.
way up. Tell us a little bit about Project KnuckleHead.
Sure. Well, we focus on different things, as the video said. Mentoring is one of our key things. In Miami, we have over 35 volunteers and mentors. We have some in Los Angeles as well, where we do programs. And we work with both at-risk and delinquent youth, right?
Okay.
I personally like working with delinquent youth as someone who's been arrested.
What's the difference?
knuckleheads.
At-risk is somebody that's going to ultimately become delinquent, right? Okay.
Someone who's displaying behaviors, right, or who's on the
that's
path.
gonna lead.
Yeah.
To, but why don't you get them when they're high risk instead of just working when they're already delinquent?
You know, that was me and my stubbornness. That's why we're open to just all youth now. We work with high schools, right? We're starting 2 after-school programs in Miami high schools now, and we work with juvenile programs there. And the KnuckleHead Express is our way of taking our services to each site, right? So with our music program, we have a music program for juvenile delinquency school, right? Which, if you're in juvenile delinquency, you're not getting music classes, dance, art. You're a knucklehead. You're lucky they're not taking the handcuffs off, you know?
Okay.
So we take them these programs, and it's a hassle loading up my car every day with this stuff. So the KnuckleHead Express, we're gonna have the instruments and things on there, right? And then go to the after-school programs at the schools as well. And the music program is just one part of the KnuckleHead Express, right? And there's another really important part. My favorite part, it's the e-mentoring program. The video showed it with the tablets on the back of the seats. And that is our way of connecting the youth here who sometimes they're in cities where they never leave their neighborhood, right? Never explore, never exposed to anything. We have mentors in more than 20 countries, you know, including South Africa, France, Germany, Japan, Haiti, all over the world, just for them to have weekly conversations with someone.
On Skype?
On Skype,
Okay.
or Facebook chat, or FaceTime, whatever is easiest for the mentor. We want to make it as easy as possible. And then so 1 week they'll talk with them on the phone, the other week they'll write, and it's to develop their writing skills and stuff, and expose them to the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I noticed that you focus a lot on art. Do you think, you know, you having studied psychology, do you think art, you know, it's something that our youth needs to have in their life?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Millions of schools are taking away arts programs, right? And some schools just have never had them. But I have an artistic side too. You know, actually playing guitar and dancing and expressing myself in different ways is what kept me out of trouble, right? And it helped me become patient, courageous, and more creative, and just all these other skills that are really good. That's why KnuckleHead Express, Project KnuckleHead, I mean, our art program started with me and my instruments and my boys, like, yo, this school doesn't have an art program. Let's just take our instruments there.
Okay.
And then the youth, almost 70% of the youth said it's the first type of art instruction they ever received. And they loved it. Teachers are saying they're more self-confident and their academic achievement is going up and everything. So it's like, we just have to take the KnuckleHead Express to expand it.
Okay. Now, how do kids get involved into your program? Do you seek them out, or they actually have to seek you out? And also, are the parents involved at all? I mean, because you gotta have the parents involved.
It's definitely a partnership.
Because like we spoke earlier, I mean, you can do all this.
Yeah.
And then again, your kids
go
back home, and then you find himself in the same environment, you know?
No, I definitely agree. That's key. And kids can enter our program through going to our website, projectknucklehead.org, right? We actually have an employment program. So the shirt I'm wearing, the delinquent youth make it themselves, and they get paid. It's their job. We hire them and pay them. So that's one program they can get into. After school programs, if they're at the school we attend, they can come in, and we're trying to go to community centers now and work with them. Like if we take the KnuckleHead Express to community centers, that way any youth that's in the community, if they're not fortunate enough to go to the school we're working at, can just walk in and help us. And ultimately, we would like our own community center. I say that we're at least a year or two away.
Okay. A building where know, the kids know that if they go, they can get support, they can get help. And actually,
KnuckleHead headquarters, it would be called.
KnuckleHead headquarters. How about that? So while you're doing that, you're still not done with college.
No, man.
Come on, man.
In 2 weeks, I start year 13th and final year.
School.
Yeah, 5th college degree, final.
What are you studying right? What are you doing?
Studying law at the University of Miami, get my law degree.
Oh, you want to get your law degree?
Yeah.
Do you become a lawyer?
You know, I've had some internships, and I don't know if that's the life for me. I'm not about that life. Well, I don't know. It's
well,
about
you gotta be on the field. You know.
it's definitely, but it's a sword for certain battles,
Absolutely.
right? I'm actually here in Central Florida now, working with the Southern Poverty Law Center, doing stuff here because Florida is a state where, you know, they arrest more youth than any other state. They arrest more kids in schools than any other state.
Tell me about that. And you was also telling me that, you know, when you were a youth in Florida, for example, which is a very, very hard state, your juvenile, how do you say that?
Your record
don't go away?
Well, certain charges may not go away, right? And it's definitely easier to get charged as an adult. Florida charges more youth as adults than any other state. But myself, as an example, for instance, I'm trying to become a lawyer, and you have to pass what's called a character and fitness test, right? They don't want just anyone to become a lawyer.
All these degrees that you have under your
belt. All sorts of stuff, all these student loans and everything, but this character and fitness test.
How you gonna finish so that allow you to practice as a lawyer?
No, I understand.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you meet some lawyers, you know.
I know.
But
I've met a bunch.
Yeah, I don't know how they passed it, but in my bar application, you know, they asked if you had any charges or anything, and I was like, yeah, you know, juvenile, knucklehead, did this 15. And I still had to go in front of a hearing and committee and pay $250 and explain it, you know, and they had to decide. It wasn't guaranteed. And there definitely are some people out there who, because of something they did when they're a teenager, 30 years later, they can't become a lawyer.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if they refuse, they say you get to keep your $250.
Oh, yeah.
Man. You don't get that back.
Right.
What is that? This girl's calling me. Okay, never mind. Talk to you later. All right, but what's next so for you, Amir, Mr. Whitaker? What's next?
I finished up University of Miami in May, and after that, Project Knucklehead full-time. I've been doing school for 13 years and doing work full-time as well, but I just can't wait to just full-time my career. Yeah, while still getting experience in the legal side of things, because again, certain battles will require that sword. So.
Okay. So how do people get in touch with you, with your program, you know, Knucklehead and stuff?
They can look us up on www.projectknucklehead.org or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or anything like that. And I'm on there, Amir Whitaker. You can find me and
on Google also,
on Google, just Google us, you know, and we're looking for mentors, book donations for our book drives, instrument donations for our arts program. Definitely going to get Sammy on there, and it's going to be good.
Definitely. Hit me up, man, if you need help. You know, I'll be more.
Oh, and before we go, I want to make sure I give you some little Knucklehead swag we brought
sir.
For you. You see
I'm a Knucklehead today, all orange.
And it's matching our ties.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? We got an orange tie, we got an orange mugs, orange cups.
Water bottles.
Thank you, Project Knucklehead,
man.
man. Thank you. Great things you're doing for the community. Thanks for being on the show. Hope to see you soon, okay?
All right.
That was Mr. Emmy Whitaker on the show, folks. Stick around. We'll be right back. All right, people. All right. That's all the time we have for the show tonight, folks. Unfortunately, I want to thank my guest, Amir Whitaker, for being on the show. All right. I'll see you again tomorrow, folks, 11:30 Eastern Time. You already know what time, 11:30 Eastern Time. Catch you tomorrow, folks. Good night.